More sales training will not help you compete in a crowded industry. It's not about piling on more tactics and more learning. It's about getting crystal clear on what you actually sell and why it's important. So if you keep distracting yourself with more training, more learning, more frameworks, you will continue to avoid the real work of getting clear, and you will never be able to realize the breakthrough you want and generate the kind of results that you actually envision possible. I'm Michelle Sorgaroli, and I coach 7-figure business owners who are stuck and plateaued and ready for a breakthrough so that they can stand out and compete authentically so that they generate results that actually matter. So let me tell you about my client, Dave. Let's call him Dave. Dave knew how to sell. Dave knew how to turn a lead and convert a lead into business. He saw opportunity everywhere. But no matter what he did, and he'd been at it for many years, upwards of 20 plus years in business, he knew his craft, he knew it well, he knew how to sell, he knew how to generate business. But no matter what he did, he could not break through to a better revenue level. He just wasn't generating the results. He kept getting stuck. And why? Dave had a profound lack of clarity around what made him exceptional. He simply couldn't see the untapped potential in his expertise. He thought that any opportunity was a good one. And at a certain level, once you have achieved a certain level in your business, that's no longer true. And you may be thinking at that point, this is what I see all the time, you may be thinking at that point that you need more sales training. Or maybe you think you need better processes and systems, maybe a new CRM. Maybe you think you need more marketing and better collateral for your marketing. But that's not true either. And this is the shift that most people never make. They think the answer is in another script or a new framework or maybe another sales course, better training, more learning, more letters after their name. But none of that matters at a certain point if you don't know what you're really offering and why anyone should care. So let's break this down. Once you lock in that clarity, you'll stop chasing tactics and you'll start leading conversations that actually move people to saying yes. So how do you do that? Let's break it down for you in 3 easy steps. In the first one, the first thing you want to do is recognize that when you are in action, it's getting in the way. You're moving too quickly and you're not taking the time to slow down. What got you to this point was being in action, and that has worked beautifully until now. That's what got you the results that you are currently creating. Brilliant. The thing about slowing down, though, is it forces you to stop and think and realize what is really going on. When you slow down and think about what are you actually selling? What do you love to sell? Because whatever you're selling successfully is what you love to sell. What are you selling that you love to sell? Where does your passion and your excitement light up like a firecracker? Because you are so excited about the opportunity to create this outcome. So slow down and think about what is it that you love about your work? The next thing, and this is a critical piece, it's not enough to just love your work. It's not enough to know what you love about your work. You have to know why. Why is it meaningful? Why is it important? Why do you care? Because ultimately the thing you love is not what you do. What you truly love is what it does, the outcomes that it creates, the results that it creates. And if you think it's about the revenue, it's not. It was until this point, but it's not anymore. And that's why you're not experiencing the breakthrough that you envision as possible. Because you still think that maybe it's about the results, the financial results that you're generating. Go past that. What is it that you're doing for others that is lighting you up, that excites you? What is the impact and the meaning in your work in terms of how it impacts other people? What do you care about for them? What do you want for them? If you take the time to really dig deep and ask yourself some questions about what it is that you get really excited about in terms of the impact or the meaning of your work, that is a game changer, because you start to realize and think beyond the money. When you think beyond the money, big breakthroughs happen, big transformation happens. There's a lot of creativity that comes from that. There's a lot of new ideas that comes from that. There's new ways of thinking that come from that. But that's the starting point, is realizing, what is it? And the third thing that you can do is, once you understand what you love about what you do and the thing that you want to do, that's number one. Then you understand what the meaning is behind that, or the impact of that. That's number two. The third one is, what's valuable about it? Why? What is the value exchange? Why is it valuable and important to you? Why do you care? And why do others care? What is valuable and important to them? And is there a match? Are the outcomes that you're trying to create actually having the kind of impact, and are they being received as valuable by your clients and prospects? Do the people in your community care about the value that you are genuinely trying to create for them? Just because it's valuable to you doesn't necessarily mean it's valuable to someone else. That value exchange requires, for it to be valuable to both parties, it requires a match. And that doesn't always happen. So this can be this can get in the way of your breakthrough, because if you believe you're creating value and the people who are buying it aren't valuing it at the same level that you have attributed value to it, then there is a mismatch in your value proposition. And that is a key piece of this equation. So as you're thinking now about your work and realizing that this isn't about training, this isn't about more learning, this isn't about more frameworks or even a new CRM. This is really about the growth that you are looking for, the clarity that you need. Here's the key. Up until now, when you have been in action, action has generated results, and that has been brilliant for you. But now, being in action all the time, trying new things, chasing after squirrels, getting into new opportunities, selling all the time, and building new stuff, that action is actually what's keeping you stuck. Now, instead of creating breakthroughs, you're creating the same incremental growth trajectory. There's no exponential growth that can come from your being in action all the time. Breakthroughs, the kind of breakthrough you want, comes from clarity. The kind of clarity that allows you to see with confidence the value that you create, and to start innovating and creating more courageously with more confidence. So if you find yourself banging up against a ceiling in revenue, you need to slow down, define your real value, and get clear about why it matters. Now, if you want to find out more about this and you want to hear a little bit extra about why marketing collateral is not the answer, I encourage you to go to our next video, which is going to talk about why marketing collateral is blocking your creativity. I'll look forward to seeing you in our next one. Thanks, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.